gamers, I am Mike TheZorch, and welcome back to the continuation of the Atari 2600 series. We look back to games from my childhood. We're here in Atari Vault. I don't actually have an Atari 2600 anymore. That system I used to have died a long time ago, and I don't know what ever happened to all my cartridges. I used to have this one, and now this game right here is very near and dear to my heart. Why? Because this was one of my favorite Atari 2600 games of all time. I mean, this right here was my favorite. Basically what you're looking at, Yar's Revenge, and this was a somewhat special one. Oh, it's arcadey. It never ends. It just continues on until you run out of lives, and you can build up your high score. And I think it does eventually flip over. The high score eventually flips over because I think there's a limit to what score you can put on it. This one came with a comic book that tells the backstory behind the conflict in the game that's going on. Why you're fighting the battle that you are. You're basically an insect warrior. You're inside of it's supposed to be inside of some kind of suit, kind of special powered suit. You are an insect race. You're fighting an alien invasion, and you have energy weapons that you can fire from your mouth, and you have a cannon which you can charge by eating your enemy's shield. This also, if you notice that that white patch with the text, you can barely read it on here, but the little teddy bear face icon, that was featured on a lot of games for the Atari 2600. Not a great number, but there were a few games that had that, and those are games that featured a special, really easy mode for young children, or like really young kids. Not every Atari 2600 game had that, but this was one of the few games that actually had that feature. So let's get into the game. Now you can play with two players, but you alternate. You're not on the screen at the same time. So we're only going to do one player today. And that's the children's version. I'm going to play the regular version. You can choose to either have your cannon damage the shields or have it bounce back for more difficulty. And you can also make it harder to generate the cannon. Well, we're going to keep it at the base settings. So let's go into the game and I'll show you what it's all about. Your character flying around, shooting at me right away. Okay, that's your enemy's shields right here, that's surrounding him. And this is the energy barrier, natural energy barrier. And the line that's following me is a missile that he fires. Periodically, he will charge and fire an energy weapon at me. And I can fire energy blast from my mouth. Like that. And I can do it to open up a hole in his shield. Then I eat some of the shield to generate the cannon. And oh, missed him. Get rid of that block. Or that thing quite deep. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Got it. Okay, I still have 4 lives, and I earned some points. Okay, now, this shield sort of acts like the energy shield from the game Tron in the arcade. So it's an energy shield that turns around and around. You have to shoot it to keep it crushing you. Created a weapon. I can't fire off the weapon while I'm inside the shield, inside this energy region. I'll let you do that. Got it. you progress in the game, the missile will continue to follow you. Also, it'll get faster. And the enemy will shoot at you more frequently. Got him. The further you go, the more frequently he'll shoot. And the faster the missile's going to get. I think I tore enough away to be able to hit him. Nope. I'm gonna have to destroy more of that shield. Create a gap. Okay, that's good. Hide in here. Created an opening that I can use to fire at it. Got it. Notice the missile's getting a lot faster now. Nope. Oh, just missed him. Try this again. Got it. Right, one more time. I am. Concentrate here. Got it. Oh, that missile's really going fast now. Oh! Can't take my time anymore. Come on. Oh. Ow. 30. Ah! Come here. Come on. Come on. All right. Oh! Well, it gets progressively harder. Again, this was one of my favorite games on the Atari 2600. I used to actually own this game. Me and my friends play the heck out of this. Now, there was a more up-to-date modern version of this that was made. I've never actually played the more up-to-date version. You can sometimes find them on those cheap little, game systems that you can get from China, like the Zorch games. It might have something like that on it. But that is out there to play. This was one of my favorites. We used to play this a lot in my house, and I would take it over to my friend's house because they didn't have it. We would play this like crazy. And this game is also on a lot of other Atari 2600 fans' top 10 list. So this is one of the bigger games out there, and this sold pretty well. This was made during the height of the Atari 2600, before the bloatware started coming out, before the really bad, crappy games started flooding the market. This was during the golden age of the 2600. This is when their best games were coming out, and this was one of their best. So this was Mike TheZorch playing Yara's Revenge for the Atari 2600. I hope you liked this video, and I will be back with more. I'll see you next time.
Hey you! Do you like games? You obviously do because you just watched this video. Come on over to the Gamers Bay community on MeWe. That is a privacy-focused social media network that will never sell your information. Also, check out our store on eBay. The Gamers Bay store is your one-stop shop for almost all things retro gaming. Links are in the description below.